to start recording. Awesome, thanks. Yeah, and if people trickle in later, that is absolutely fine. The most important part of this workshop is for you all to learn how to contribute to the ISAL website, and then from there we'll have time to all kind of collaboratively work on stuff. But the most important thing is, like, I think learning how, because I think that can be a barrier that it's hard to get over by yourself sometimes. Although I'm hoping now that we've gotten more of the kinks in the membership system smoothed out, it'll be easier. Yeah, okay, so apologies in advance. I was gonna do a dry run of this and stuff, but as I just mentioned, I have COVID, and that turns out to make it hard to look at screens, for at least for me, for a while. So I didn't have a chance to do that, but we did this workshop last year as well, so hopefully I'll remember how that went, and we won't run into any snags. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen so that you can see kind of the process here. Actually, wait, I should start with more of a high-level introduction. Okay, so right. Hopefully most of you have seen ALife.org, the ISAL website. It is here. Hi, I'm Emily Dolson. I'm on the ISAL board as the webmaster, which is why I'm running this workshop. And so ALife.org historically has been mostly about kind of like ISAL. It's, had like some limited links to other resources on the web. But one of my goals since starting this position has been to kind of expand the educational resources that are available there. And so, okay, now I'm going to share my screen. Okay, yeah, so here's the ISAL website. And so the way that, after some discussion with other people, we've decided to do this is by adding this online Encyclopedia of Artificial Life resource. And basically the idea behind this, as is explained here in the how to contribute to the ALife Encyclopedia section, basically the goal here is that, we collectively, as people who are part of the artificial life community, have a ton of experience, with artificial life. We know about all the different facets of it and the different nooks and crannies. And initially there'd been a push to kind of try to improve the Wikipedia resources on artificial life. And people were kind of thinking that was the way forward. But that turned out to be really hard because Wikipedia's policies specifically don't let you use your own expertise as like the authority for writing an article, which makes sense because Wikipedia can't verify that you're an expert in the field. And so in some sense, what we wanted to set up here was almost the opposite of Wikipedia, where it's curated by people who we know are experts in the field and thus who are able to, write things that by default we trust. And so, yeah, the main approach to editing this is that anything that you think should be in here, you're welcome to add. Anything you see that you disagree with, you're welcome to go edit. And so the goal is that over time, we should get an emerging kind of consensus of the field of what everyone agrees. And note that, as you're working on this, if you're adding articles about parts of the field that you know about, you'll probably be likely to mention things that are relevant to your research. That's just going to be the part of the field that you know about. And instead of feeling bad about that, I really want to encourage that. I think one of the best ways to incentivize people to contribute to this resource is that it can be kind of a mild form of self-promotion. But if everyone does that, what we end up doing is assembling a legitimate resource on the research that we're doing in this field. And so, yeah, I totally encourage writing about your research. Any paper that you write that you present at this conference probably could be hooked into these resources in some way. Yeah, and if you have questions, please feel free to cut in or, I should pull up the chat so that I can see if people ask any questions in chat.
So I'll jump in with a question. So I love the idea of a lazy consensus. Mm-hmm. And that will usually work because normally if you disagree with something, it's because, the person who put it in there just wanted to get a stub or whatever, or wanted to say something and maybe it's not exactly right. But sometimes there will be disagreements. How are disagreements handled?
Yeah, great question. So currently we don't have a very solid process for handling disagreements. I would welcome thoughts on how to make a better one. So currently all posts do need to go through very light moderation by me, or I think anyone else who's an admin on the website has ability to approve them. And that'll like, catch obvious trolling or anything, which I don't expect because you need to be like a member of ISAL to edit this, and you shouldn't troll if you're a member probably. But in terms of legitimate disagreements, I don't know what the best way to handle that is. I think it probably depends on the specifics of the disagreement. If they're like just actual scientific disagreements, I think probably what would make sense is to say like, this is controversial. Some people think X, some people think Y. If it's some other form of disagreement, I'm struggling right now to think of like another form of disagreement that could come up, but I'm sure they exist.
I mean, even as simple as, disagreements about the history of what was discovered first, or I
mean, I think in the case of disagreements like that could potentially be factually resolved. The easiest thing to do would be to ask people to come up with citations.
And I should note, it's not like I'm expecting any sort of disagreement. I was just curious about what the policy there is.
Yeah, currently the policy is that I will resolve it. If it becomes common for there to be disagreements, that's obviously not a sustainable policy.
Yeah, you can have sort of commentary, I think, to air the disagreements in a commentary attached to whatever the article is, rather than getting into an editing war. But as I say, because we're all members of society, I don't think we're likely to get real editing war happening. So, one of the things I was thinking is, why not snaffle what was done on Wikipedia anyway as kind of a seed for this encyclopedia? Or maybe you've already done that. I don't know. But
I think that's a great idea. I haven't done it. I mean, it's true that like according to the terms of Wikipedia, we could just grab it. It feels a little wrong.
Well, no, because we originally set up all the ALife articles with this express purpose, and then as you pointed out in the FAQ, the editing the moderation policies of Wikipedia made it rather difficult. Like if I'm going to write a biography on Charles, for instance, I have no idea when he was born, where he grew up, or who he's married to, or anything. So it becomes a very impoverished biography. But yet, if I write my own biography, which I do know those details on, that's not allowed. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's a good idea. Chris, did you want to say something?
Well, I just it was just more an observation, really. I think it sounds like a great idea. So if I understand, if there was I've been out of ALife for a while, but I did some stuff a few years back, and I've often thought maybe, I mean, I had some papers in in the ECAL conferences, but maybe that could be better known. So I think you're saying that this would be a good place to sort of maybe document the project and the main things that came out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds great.
Great. And give pointers to the actual paper, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll talk in a minute about how to add citations.
Yeah. What about sort of more general? This could, I mean, is this a place also for more general concepts to do with ALife? Like, for example, a section saying, what is an autocatalytic set? That sort of thing.
Yes, absolutely. So currently we've got actually more articles like that than like the specifics of a project, although both are totally encouraged. So yeah, we've got like, a bunch of articles on like different software platforms that people commonly use. And like these will have like pointers to papers that were written using these platforms. But they're a more general concept, or even has some higher level ones. Like I think like here, like, this is a page about like the entire subfield of digital evolution. And, links to Wikipedia and YouTube are also like totally encouraged, as you can see. So yeah, high level introductory resources are also super encouraged. I think that's a really good thing to have. As I'll talk about in a moment, there is like automatic linking between articles in the encyclopedia. So I've also been adding some like very short, kind of like almost glossary type articles that explain a concept that might be unfamiliar to either newcomers to the field or to more established folks, or might just have like subtleties that people don't think about. So like I added this one on fitness. And so now if someone mentions fitness in another article, let me just go see if I can find an example. The Evolve one definitely needs more resources. Yeah, okay, so like, there's this idea of an evolutionary substrate. And so like now that that's an article, if you mouse over it, you can get this little capsule description of what it is.
Right.
And so, yeah, writing very introductory resources is highly encouraged. Writing very advanced resources is highly encouraged.
Okay.
So are the links created automatically, or do you have to flag a particular word as something that should be linked?
They are created automatically as long as the words you use are the exact name of the title of one of the other articles. Otherwise, you have to add it automatically.
We have to be careful about making too generic a term.
Or, I mean, I almost feel like you have to be careful to make your terms a little generic. So like, the name of the Avita article was originally the Avita Digital Evolution Platform, but I changed it to Avita because when people are writing about Avita in other articles, they're just going to mention Avita. They're not going to say the whole name.
Got it.
Yeah. So that differs from the usual convention of just putting square brackets around the terms that you want to link.
Right, yeah. And you're welcome to also just add links as links to other pages. That works fine too.
This is looking great.
Thanks. Yeah, so those were all great questions. Are there more questions? Okay, if not, then yeah, let's make sure there are other things I wanted to say about the general principles first. Right, one thing to think about is like, probably you don't need to write a whole article that's like recapitulating everything that was in a paper you wrote. It's fine to just cite the paper and have a summary in the encyclopedia. Also, yeah, keep in mind that this is going to be read theoretically by anyone from like general members of the public to experts in the field. So yeah, a different range of levels of expertise that you're expecting is totally encouraged. It's just something to keep in mind. Right. Okay.
Yeah, I think the aim is to try and keep this a little bit higher level, or dumbed down is the wrong term, but a bit more discursive, as opposed to in a scientific paper, you need to aim for precision and have all the technical details so that it could be understood and reproduced.
Yeah, definitely. I think it definitely should be higher level than would be in a paper, because we have papers for that.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Any other high level? Ooh, okay. Comment in the chat. Often large repositories will have suggested pathways through them. Is there an envisioned hierarchy, or is it intended to be completely flat? Yeah, great question. So currently there is a loose hierarchy. So there is a notion of categories. And so all the different categories are referred to here. And this page is supposed to look a little nicer than this. I'm not sure what happened. I will check on that. Just updated PHP. That might have been the problem. Right, but so each of these basically is a high-level category. And you can see that there are subcategories within one of them. And so totally recommended to create new subcategories if there isn't one that a page fits in. Every page should have a category. And so that's like a bit of organization. There are also tags that you can apply to help find articles on a given topic. But currently, there could probably be more hierarchy. I'm kind of waiting to see what we end up with. Chris, do you have a comment? You're muted. You're still muted. Chris, it looks like you're talking, but we can't hear you.
Sorry. I'm still doing that.
No worries.
Okay. Anyway, yes, it's related to what we were just talking about. And it's a bit of a hobby horse of mine, but I thought I'll chuck this in anyway, as just as a sort of, what do you think about this type of thing? Because I've been looking at concept maps recently, a bit like mind maps, but mind maps are more of a tree structure, whereas a concept map is a totally generic network. And what it means is, in the concept map, you've got a graphical representation. I'm sure most people probably know, but I'll say it anyway. You've got a graphical representation. So, you know, I might have a concept map with, you know, artificial chemistry in it. And then I might have, I don't know, sort of somebody's maybe made a model of chemical organization. So it might be linked to chemical organization theory. It might be linked to somebody else's model. It might be linked to something to do with chemistry. So basically what it means is, when you go and look at this concept map, for any node in this map, you can see the node itself, the concept itself, and its surrounding, if you like, contextual space. So I'm just chucking that in as a thought, really.
Yeah, that's a great thought. I think concept maps are awesome. Yes, I think we have an idea kind of like that in the form of the tags here.
Yes.
But I mean, it's not quite as rich as a full concept map.
So often with large bodies of work like this, one of the things you can do is match words that appear, or terms that appear near each other. And so you can start generating concept maps in different ways. Just to those forms of concept maps are just that these two concepts are related, right? They might be opposites, or they might be synonyms, or they might just be two different parts of the same thing, or whatever. But that level of concept map can be auto-generated pretty easily. And you can get a lot of interesting things out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess I should mention, so the Encyclopedia plugin that we're using here does do like a weak version of that. It will suggest related articles. I think this is mostly based on tags, but it might also be based somewhat on the text of the article. But yeah, I think that would definitely be something to think about adding later once we've got this more fleshed out.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not something to try and automatically generate until we have a large corpus.
Awesome. Other comments? Okay, if not, I think we're probably ready to jump into the nuts and bolts of actually contributing. Okay, so this is going to be the part that's going to be hardest for me to show you, because the next thing you have to do is sign into the website. And the way that I need to sign into the website is different than the way that everyone else does. So I'm going to try and demo it the best I can. Okay, to sign into the website, the first thing you need to do is find a login button. And there's a few ways you can find that. One is just, if you scroll down on any article, you'll see either an edit button here if you're logged in, or a login to edit this page button. You can also find a login button by going to the members area section. That will ask you to log in.
So should we go to the encyclopedia first, or anywhere on ALife.org?
You'll only find the login buttons on the encyclopedia page.
Okay.
So yeah, you can either go to one of those and go to login, or you can go to the members area.
And so for everyone else, that's either alife.org/encyclopedia, or if you look at online resource, the online resources tab, encyclopedia is the bottom option there.
Yeah. I'll just click the login here because it's like a nice dedicated page that should have a login button. It's also a good page for you all to know about, because this is the one that you can use to access the Artificial Life Journal through the website. Okay, and so what you're going to do is you're going to click this login button. And it's going to take you to this login page. And at this point, what you need to do is enter your email and password that you became a member of iSal through. Last year, most people did not know theirs. I'm thinking this year there's a slightly higher chance that people know theirs because you all had to log in to register for the conference. If you set it up with Facebook or Google, you can use one of these buttons. If you don't know what your password is, you can also click this forgot password button and it should reset. I have a test account that I might be able to use here. I'm going to try it because it would be nice for me to be able to demonstrate what this looks like. Oh, is that not?
So when I'm trying to log in.
Oh, it's not going to work for you either because you're an admin.
Oh, I'm an admin? I didn't even know that.
I think you're an admin.
It makes sense.
What error do you get?
An unknown error, in fact. It says an unknown error has occurred. Please try again later.
Yep, that's the error you get when you're an admin.
Okay.
I'm gonna just see if I can demonstrate what this will look like if you're not an admin. So I think I might have set this up with another email address that has to get verified through MSU. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so that is what it looks like when you log in with a non-member account. Sorry, not non-member, with a non-admin account. You click that, in that case, I authenticated through Google. You could enter your username and password. And then it will take you to this page that says you're logged in. Now it has information about your membership information. My membership level is test because this is my test account. You'll have more interesting information here. And yeah, in case you weren't aware of this section of the website, this is how you would access the Artificial Life Journal. Is anyone having problems logging in?
Or on the flip side, has anyone successfully logged in?
Fair.
It's going to take me a while. I've got to retrieve my password first.
No worries.
I'm on the way.
Okay, Glenn's
yeah,
in.
so the key way that you'll know you're logged in is or the most important thing is you'll see this black bar at the top. I'm going to demonstrate what to do with the black bar so that we have it on the recording. And then I'm going to log out of this account and log into my real account because I think this one doesn't have encyclopedia edit privileges. But so yeah, what you'll do once you're logged in is you will click on Artificial Life on this black bar up here. And this will take you to the admin area. Oh, this one does actually have encyclopedia edit access. Okay, maybe I'll just stick with this account. This will look more like what it looks like for other people.
Rats, I was hoping I'd see how I'm supposed to log in.
Oh wait, okay, let me.
No, you don't have to. If you just tell me what to do, I'm sure I can figure it out.
Yeah, okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to alife.org/ISAL admin login.
Okay.
And that will take you to a normal WordPress login form where you will log in using your WordPress credentials.
Sounds great.
Let me know if you have problems. Okay. It can be a little finicky.
I've typed in, I've got 2022 alife.org. Is that the website?
No, it is just alife.org.
Let me put that in then, see what happens. Oh, here we go. Yes. Okay. Now there's supposed to be a login button. Is there somewhere?
Yeah, so the easiest way to get a login button is to go to alife.org/members area.
All one word, is it? Members area?
It's members area here. Let me paste it into the chat. Oh, congrats, Glenn. Looks like Glenn is all logged in.
Dash area.
It's going to be a while for me because it wasn't.
Okay, login.
It's not been saved in LastPass, I guess, because I've never been to this website before. So.
Oh no, it could be saved in LastPass under Wild Apricot. That could be one other thing to check. Because Wild Apricot is the service that we're using as the backend for our member management.
Ah, this membership ALife org can't be found. Maybe I'll try it again.
No, it's not that either. No, it's just, I guess probably like signing up for the conference and renewing your membership from that. I guess it probably, the password is attached to the conference or something.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I've just got to wait for the new password to be sent.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, let me know if it doesn't arrive. Someone was having trouble with that the other day.
Well, I'm getting something about it can't find it.
Huh, like it can't find anyone with your email address?
It's saying this membership.alife.org page can't be found.
Oh.
So I've typed in I put in my password. It doesn't say the password's wrong. It just says can't find the page.
Well, that's
I'm getting an even more interesting one here. I have access from your IP address has been blocked for security reasons. Please contact the site administrator.
Oh no, let me unblock you. Okay, for that, I do need to sign into my admin account.
I wonder if it's because I had so many failed attempts before I finally got it.
That could be. It does lock you out after a certain number of failed attempts.
I mean, it couldn't have been more than 24.
Emily, we're getting that same thing when we try to go to the members area page too. So, and like, we just, just got here.
Oh, hi, Anya.
Hello.
Wait, you're getting.
It's just,
Hi,
says,
students.
what is it?
Are not authorized to access the requested content.
Yeah, you are not authorized to access the requested content when they just try to go to the members area page to log in.
Interesting. So there's not a login button. It just says they're not authorized.
Yeah.
After I logged in.
Oh, after you logged in, after they logged in.
Oh. But they're members.
Well, I paid for them. So
Okay, so they should be members. Oh, I know you sent me a thing about one of their accounts, and I haven't fixed that yet.
Yeah,
That's not part of this.
Yeah, you use the email that you gave me to sign you up, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So I can message you their email addresses to check or something if you want. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, Charles, you should be unlocked.
Awesome, thanks.
No problem.
I've got an error. I've tried to reset my password,
Mhm.
and I've got an error occurred during password request. Please contact your site administrator.
Interesting. Okay. Well, let me go head over to Wild Apricot and see what is up with all of your accounts.
I'm in. Yay.
Yay! Awesome.
Okay, I'm in too.
Awesome. Okay. That's oh, I guess I should unshare my screen temporarily while I look at like private member data. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that your students are actually in here. I'm also going to check on Chris's account if it is still not working. Okay, and are all of your students having this problem?
I still am.
So there's only 2 of them here today, so I can only give you a sample size of 2. I think it's like that maybe, so because I signed them up, but I did it with their email addresses, and like one I did with the email address, the same email address from last year, but I did a non-ISAL like student thing, and so now it's saying they need to renew. So I don't know if like, I don't know, does that make sense?
Yeah, so okay, it looks like at least with one of them, what happened is, yeah, they probably registered last year on July 19th.
Yes.
And
exactly.
so now they're not active anymore.
Yes,
Um,
even though I did register them with an ISAL, with a non-ISAL student registration for this year, but it like just hasn't connected or something.
Oh, okay. Huh, that shouldn't have happened.
Because it is showing them as like having the ALife 2022 conference registration.
Fascinating. And you like paid again for them?
Yes, I think I have a receipt and everything.
Cool. Okay. I am inclined to trust you on that, and I'm gonna manually renew them.
It sounds good. Yeah, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like it's concerning that happened. But it is not hard to fix on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
Okay. Seth should be all set. Cool. Okay, and then let me.
And then yeah, Sylvie's still having the same. Just
yes. Yeah, so Sylvie is not in here.
Okay, I'm going to message you to try and figure that out.
Okay. Okay, in the meantime, Chris, are you still also having trouble?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay, and what email address did you use?
c.gordonsmith@gmail.com.
Huh, okay, yeah, I'm also not seeing that in here. Let me see what I can find.
Oh,
you can see my account, can you?
Oh, okay. I found it. Okay. Okay, so it looks like you are in here as a contact, but not a member. Did you like register for the conference in some unconventional way?
Not as far as I know.
Huh.
I thought I just went on. I thought I just went on the. I can't remember which. It was either ISAL site or the ALife 22 site, and just registered. Let me put it this way: I wasn't aware of doing anything unconventional.
Okay. Okay. So you paid the full registration or the.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. It is. We're gonna need to dig deeper into this. This shouldn't be happening. This seems like a systemic problem. I am also going to tentatively add you as a member.
Okay.
That is very strange. Oh, whoops, wait, I made you an admin. I shouldn't make you an admin. Okay, regular. Okay, try again now.
That's right. Okay, here we go. Oh, seems to. I've just pressed the reset button again. It's done the same thing.
It's possible that now it's like.
Apparently nothing's happened, so I'll go back, I think. Maybe
Okay, yeah.
Back and start the whole thing again. So members area. I'm back in members area. Sorry, can you remind me what I need to do to log in?
Yeah, okay, so in members area, do you see a login button?
It says howdy, Chris Gordon Smith. So maybe I am logged in.
Great.
That's weird.
So I think probably what happened is it logged you in before, but because you didn't have a membership level assigned, it thought you didn't have access because like you need to be a member to have access. And so now it is giving you access because it knows that you're actually a member.
Yeah, it looks like I'm in now.
Awesome. Great. And Anya, I think your other student should also be able to join now. Yeah, this kind of is looking like a systemic problem where like people who registered might have gotten added as contacts but not members. We're definitely going to have to look into this more.
Russell, it looks like you're talking, but you're muted.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any obvious way of editing or adding articles.
Okay, yeah, let's get to that next then. Okay, so am I correct in thinking everyone has logged on except, Johannes logged in but got the you're not authorized to access that content. Okay, so I'm guessing Johannes is having the same problem, so let me do the same fix.
I wonder if there's a distinction for people who registered as an ISAL member and then registered for the conference versus people who became an ISAL member via registering for the conference.
Could be, because I'm also getting that message as well, which could be why it's not obvious about editing.
Yeah, and all of my students, I registered as non-ISAL members so that they would get so that I could pay for them.
Yeah, I wonder if we have to take an extra step because anyone who registered for the conference is supposed to be a member, so it's supposed to have all worked, but.
Yeah, okay, I am.
This would be the first thing we're doing, though, that the distinction would matter.
I think it's Yogi Berra said in theory, there should be no difference between theory and practice. In practice, there is.
That could be a new theory.
Okay. Johannes should also be fixed now. And then, okay, Russell, are you having the same problem?
I guess so, because there is a little message saying you're not authorized to access the requested content.
Okay, cool. Let me fix that too. Yep. Yeah. None of you are assigned as members. Okay. Yeah. I think this is probably a problem that happened to everyone. Well, glad we know about it now so we can fix it. Okay. You should be all set too.
I'm in, yeah, it looks like a sort of WordPress screen I'm in.
Perfect. Yes, that is where you should be.
Thank you. It works now. It tells me howdy, Anna Schneider.
Awesome.
Yeah, so my students are in but we just don't see like the option to edit pages on the encyclopedia, but that's what you're going to talk about next time.
Okay, yes, that is what I'm going to talk about.
That's the not actually being set as members or something.
They should be set as members now.
Okay. Are they supposed to be seeing the ability to do a new revision on a page?
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
I think they probably are. So that might be another round of debugging. That's okay. That's part of why we do these workshops. Okay, right. So congratulations on being logged in, everyone. So this is me logged in as my test account. So you should see pretty much the same thing. So yeah, this is the member area. Yeah, again, if you want to access the journal, you can click here. But if we want to access the encyclopedia, we can click there, or we can just go to the encyclopedia section. So yeah, let's say we want to add or edit an article. So we can start with editing. So, I just made this article about fitness. Let's say we want to edit that. So the way to do that is you scroll down and, oh, that edit button's gone. What? Oh, that's weird. Oh, I wonder if that's because this account also doesn't actually have edit privileges.
But you have new revision. If you click, you see new revision on your top bar.
I do. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, that looks like that's doing the same thing now.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
So, right. So the most powerful way to edit the encyclopedia is via this top bar or the admin area that it will take you to. So if you click on the Artificial Life button here, it will take you to this admin area, which is how you control. So this is a WordPress admin area. The whole site is powered by WordPress. This is a limited subset of like the part of the site that you can edit. You'll notice you can also make job postings here if you want. But so the encyclopedia section is the most important one. So if you click on encyclopedia, it should take you here. And here you can see a list of all of the articles. And oh, interesting. Right. Okay. So the way that editing these articles is handled is with this process called revisions. And so that's also why you saw here this new revision button, which is like a shortcut.
Can I just butt in? Because I'm not seeing encyclopedia. So I've clicked on Artificial Life, and then I've got dashboard, but I don't see anything about encyclopedia.
Okay,
Yeah,
is there just
same.
nothing here?
Yeah,
I'm the
same for my
same.
students.
Yep. And no
Okay.
plus new or view post either. Yeah.
Okay, so when you go to profile and you look at, where is it? Or does it not tell you what your member group is? It doesn't. Okay, hang on, gotta go log into my admin account again. Yeah, okay, so my guess is, oh,
Emily, my student who doesn't have the encyclopedia button shows member status not specified, whereas my student who does have the encyclopedia button shows member status active.
Oh,
interesting. Other people, are you seeing not active, or sorry, not active or not specified?
I've got membership status not specified.
Same here.
Okay. Oh, yep. Okay. It does have the wrong. Oh, okay. I think I know what happened. Okay. Yeah. So, right. Basically, the way that this works on the back end is because we're using this other service for handling our membership back end. When you sign in, it like grabs your role from the membership database. And I think what happened is you signed in when you had the non-member role, and then
Yeah.
I changed it while you were signed in, and we grabbed the old one. So I think the easiest thing for me to do is going to be to just manually
out.
fix it. You could probably also fix it by logging out and logging back in, but then I'm worried we're going to run into weird caching stuff. So I'm just going to go through and fix these, and it shouldn't be an issue in the future because now you're actually members. Okay, role is regular. Okay, Chris, did that fix it for you?
I've still got, do I need to sort of, update profile? I'll update the profile.
Or even if you just refresh.
That was what I was wanting to do.
Oh, okay.
I'll just refresh instead, see what happens. No,
Yeah,
it's
so I
still-
logged out and logged back in, and that did fix it.
Okay, that
Right.
fixed it.
I refreshed and I've got not specified, so I think I'll try the logging out.
Okay, maybe that's the more foolproof approach.
Okay, here we go. Log
Yeah,
out.
it's just like a Unix system when you add yourself to a group. You got to log out and log back in to get access to the group.
Okay, so now going to go members area, aren't I? Slash
Mhm.
members dash area.
It's also on that drop down under the membership
Oh, is
option on
that
the
okay?
menu.
Right. All right. So now I'll try login. Username. So I'm now logged back in.
Awesome.
Now I'm going on Artificial Life, aren't I?
Mhm.
Now I've got Encyclopedia. Yeah.
Wonderful.
We're good here, so I think.
Okay, great.
Mm.
Okay, is everyone able to see the encyclopedia section in the dashboard?
Yeah, I've got it here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a section on artificial chemistries already.
Yeah, although I think it's empty. I think that was like the example I used last year, and I very
Right.
much want someone to write it, but it is not currently written.
Yeah, okay, test 2 it says. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just pulling my chat window back up to make sure that I will see it. Oh, there are chats. Okay. Yep. Okay. They're good there. Awesome. Okay, so let me just head back to the encyclopedia section. Great. Okay, so now that we're all able to see the section, let's talk about how to edit stuff. So you might notice that a lot of these are in black. They're not links. Right, artificial chemistries is a link because it is like not actually an existing article yet. Basically, any article that like is already published as like something that could be viewed on the website, you can't edit through the normal WordPress editing process, because if you did that, it would take it offline while it was being edited, which isn't ideal. So instead, we use the system of revisions. And so the way that you do that is, so say I wanted to edit the ABAL article. I would do that by clicking on New Revision. And that would take me to this page that is going to be basically, if you ever used WordPress before, this is the normal WordPress editor. This is the new fancy block editor. And so it gives you a little explanation there, which I'm not going to read, but if you're new to this, you might want to. Your first time, you might also see a banner up here, making sure that you're on board with the fact that any contribution you make to the encyclopedia is under a Creative Commons license. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Yeah, everything is open source, can be shared and remixed freely. It's possible, if this goes really well, one day we'll compile it into a book. I don't know. Yeah, okay, so this takes you to this page, and this is where you can edit stuff. And you can type here, I'm adding a paragraph here. whatever you want to add, you can make edits here. And when you want to go and actually add them to the actual page, what you would do is you would do save, and then it's taking a second to save. So you don't have direct access to publish it because, like I said, right now I'm still requiring, like, I just want to look everything over and make sure there's nothing bad. I don't expect there to be anything bad, and I honestly might remove this and give everyone access. That hasn't been an issue yet. I think once I become like a rate limiting step, then I will give people like trusted status. But so yeah, the way to submit this to be added to the website is make sure that you have entry here selected rather than block. So entry is how you get the options for the whole page instead of just a little part of it. And you'll have this submit revision button. And I'm going to click submit revision. And now it's going to say this revision is submitted. And so what that means is that now, oh, I should just close this page. So now it means that, so it's going to say there's a revision on this page. And when I go to this revision section, we can see there's this revision. And if I look at it, I can see what the changes are. I can see it was not actually a good revision. I wrote, I'm adding a paragraph here. It's not ideal. And right, so this account, this test account, doesn't have the ability to approve it and send it on to the main website. Anyone who's an editor or higher in terms of the admin levels does have that ability.
And Emily, can I just interrupt for a minute? When it's a revision, so is there somewhere where you would be able to see what had changed here, like, you know, change tracking or something?
Oh, yeah, great question. There is. So I have not accessed it in the way that will let you see that. So let me just back up. So yeah, there's this compare button.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it's going to do this diff that includes like the WordPress metadata. So it's a little bit ugly. But yeah, we can see that this was like the main change to the actual text.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Great, thanks.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, so that's the basics to how revisions work. I believe you can end up with cumulative revisions. It doesn't handle like merging as nicely as say Git does. Soon GitHub, or sorry, not GitHub. Soon WordPress is working on implementing something that's a little bit more like Google Docs editing, where people can kind of like collaboratively edit at the same time. And I'm very much looking forward to that. I think in the long run, that will be better. We're not quite there yet. We're also not a huge community of editors yet, so I think it's okay. Sorry. So yeah, that is the process for making revisions. You cannot delete anyone else's revisions, but you can delete your own. I'm going to delete this one because it's not a good revision. It's just an example. Okay, that one's gone. Yeah, and so then that was how you edit things. The other thing you can do is add an entry. You do that with the add entry button. And for this, it will just give you a blank page. Oh, here's that little warning I mentioned. Yeah. Okay. And so then here you can add a title. You can write whatever you want. Yeah. Like for instance, maybe I want to write about, I don't know, what's a topic? There's lots of topics we're missing. Someone give me a topic.
Evolutionary ecology. I don't
Actually, already got.
All right, I should have looked first.
We don't exactly have evolutionary ecology. We have evolution and we have ecology. Yeah, let's
population structure.
Oh yeah, population structure. That's a great one. I am already typing population structure, so I'm going to go with that. Yeah. Okay. So, could say that population structure refers to the way interactions among a population are structured. It often is the result of spatial structure. Obviously, I would write this better, but so yeah, point is you can write your article here. When you're creating a new article, a couple things to think about are so to change article level things, we want to go to the entry section of this menu. So things you want to make sure to set when you first write an article. You want to set a category. So here, I should really make like a glossary category. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, spatial structure could happen in a vast variety of contexts. It's not really obvious where this one fits. I'm going to stick in introductory resources because it's kind of like a topic that probably most people who are in the field know about. I might make like a glossary topic or category within the introductory resources category in the future. The other thing you want to do is set tags. So here, this is it's related to evolution. It's related to ecology too. I'll add an ecology tag. There's a glossary tag. I think there's probably a lot of other fields that you could say this is related to too. And if you ever see a topic that's missing like a tag, like feel free to go in and edit it to add the tag. All edits, big and small, are welcomed. So yeah, make sure to add the category, make sure to add the tag. Ideally, if it's something that lends itself to an image, images are like super recommended. So you can set a featured image here. And actually, a featured image would be kind of cool to have for this because like spatial structure, definitely there can be images. So the way images work here is to use an image, you have to upload it to the WordPress media library. And so you can upload any file from your computer. Please only upload files that you have the rights to use. So they should either be yours or they should be available under a Creative Commons share alike. The Creative Commons is okay if it is non-commercial, if it is share alike. And if it is, I think any of the Creative Commons should be okay here. The attribution, if it's attribution, make sure that you're including attribution when you upload it. We do definitely want to make sure to respect all licensing stuff when we're doing this. So, gosh, I almost think I probably have like a good population structure image lying around on my computer. The one is not like immediately popping into my mind. Well, just as an example, let's say, they're like, okay, here's one that I think is not a terrible one to use. Oh, where did I put it? Oh gosh, I thought I had one in here that was actually a pretty good option, but now I don't see it. Okay, well, I just want to show you what the process of uploading an image looks like. Oh, here we go. Okay, this one's not the worst one I could use. It's not a good permanent image for this article, but just to show you what the process of uploading an image looks like. Let's say we want to use this one. When you upload an image, you want to give it alt text. So this is text that if someone is using a screen reader, for instance, will get read. So you want this to be descriptive of what it is. So here, this is, oh, why is it not typing? Well, that's a weird bug. Okay, yeah, it's literally not letting me type anything. Fascinating. Okay, so you definitely want to fill in the alt text. It's not letting me do that right now, but you should ideally. Not letting me fill in any of these. You also want to fill in the caption often, so that will show up underneath it. If you need to provide attribution for your image, this is a great place to do it. Okay, well, I'm gonna just try setting that as the featured image. Okay, and that works for some reason, but for some other reason, it doesn't let me edit it. I wonder if I didn't give this account like image metadata imaging or permissions. I'm gonna guess that this is an issue with the permissions in this account. If you run into this problem, let me know, because that means it's an issue with the permissions that I gave all of you, and that is a bigger problem. Okay, so yeah, you can set a featured image. It's nice to set a featured image because that will make the preview of this article elsewhere look better. Yeah, okay, and the other section in here you want to check is authors. Actually, I should have mentioned, you want to do this when you're doing a revision as well. So we have this set up so that it is able to handle as many co-authors in an article as we want. So definitely anytime you edit an article, you should add yourself. There's one unfortunate bug, which is that it will not automatically add you. Oh, okay. Anya doesn't have permission to upload media either. And I feel like Anya has more permissions than most of you. So this is probably an issue with the permissions I gave all of you. So after I finish the part of the
I once again had to like smush my admin account in order to like log in at all. So I'm back to a we member.
Okay. Okay, but that probably means that none of you have permission to upload media, which isn't good. Okay, so after I finish the talking part of this, I'm going to go fix that permissions thing, because that is a permission that you guys need to be able to have, you know, nice featured images and stuff. Okay, yeah, thanks for letting me know about that. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to search for, interesting, why is that spinning? Of course, every time you try to like do a live demo, you're going to run into issues like this. Fascinating. Okay, it is not wanting me to fill in an author there. Okay. Well, just as an example, I'm going to publish this just temporarily. Oh, right. This isn't my admin account. I'm going to submit this for review, right? Because we need approval. You can't directly publish something unless you're an admin. What you can do is submit it for review. And so now that I've done that, if I go back to the main dashboard area, you'll see that there is now going to be a population structure entry here that says it's pending. So that means it is waiting for me to approve it. Yeah, and so if I preview what that looks like, we can see that it just looks like what I wrote. Note that the featured image doesn't show up on the page unless you explicitly put it somewhere. Where it will show up is, for instance, like if I go to the software platforms, like these are all the featured images. So the way to make these Villa previews look pretty is to have a featured image. Also, it's kind of nice to have a featured image because I added this thing to the homepage where the most recently added Encyclopedia article shows up here. And again, if there's a featured image, it will show up and look prettier. Yeah, but that's how you create an article. And okay, yeah, so you can see, right, when you are the one who creates the article, you will show up in the authors. It's actually the revisions where you have to be careful to add yourself. So like with that other revision, if I had approved it, I think it still wouldn't have shown up as an author because of this weird bug. So let me just quickly show you what that looks like here back on this eval page. So what you want to do is go to the authors. Wow, it's just like not. Okay, I will investigate that too when I go to investigate permissions. Shouldn't have let it update versions of PHP so close to this workshop. Okay, yeah, I think that is like all the basics of editing. Oh, okay, no, wait, sorry. There's one other important thing I should talk about. Before I do that, though, are there any questions?
Oh, yeah, I did have one, actually. What about uploads of, say it was rather than an image, it was a document, uploading documents like a paper or anything?
Oh, yeah, okay. So you can upload any document once I give you media upload permissions. Yeah, it supports PDFs and stuff too. That said, so if the PDF is like a paper, what I recommend doing is citing it instead.
Right.
I'll talk in a minute about how to do that. But yeah, you can definitely upload PDFs and link to them.
Yeah. Okay.
Good question. Other questions before I talk about citations? Okay, let's quickly talk about citations and then I will turn you all loose. Okay, so citations are one of the most important things about how we do this that makes it easy to tie into existing literature. And so I totally recommend using citations as much as possible because that will help make it easier to find papers in our field, increase the prominence of all artificial life research. So it's really recommended. I've made it as simple as I can. It is still, there's a couple more steps than I would like. Definitely hope to be able to smooth it out in the future. So what I definitely recommend doing is take a look at the adding citations section here, because there's a couple steps and it walks you through them. So basically, the approach to citations here is there is one large shared Zotero library for the entire site. And it lives here. So even if you're not logged in, you can see it. It's taking a second to load. Yeah, and so it's got currently all of the articles that are referenced anywhere in the encyclopedia. So to be able to add to this, you need to do a couple steps first. And these first two are one-time steps, so that's nice. The first is you need to make an account on Zotero.org if you already have one. So you can do that by going to login and registering for a free account and filling this out. Once you've done that, the other thing you need to do is to actually join this group, which I believe you can do by just clicking. Yeah, once you're logged in, there's going to be a join button. And if I log in, it won't give me the join button because I've already joined. But it will show up if you log in, I promise. And yeah, so once you've done those two things, then you will always have the ability to access this and edit it. And actually, let me log in to show you what that looks like. All right, so this is going to be my whole Zotero library, but in the midst of this, I can see the ISOL one, which is this one. Okay, and so basically, once you've got that set up, all you have to do to add a citation is you want to first add it to this library. You can do that with this plus button or with this magic wand button. So the plus button is if you want to manually fill in the information. I totally recommend using the magic wand button. It's really nice. You enter a URL or a DOI or an archive ID or whatever, and it will generally be pretty good about finding the metadata. So that is a great way to do this. If you use Zotero as your primary reference manager, you can also use any of the other ways that you get information into Zotero normally, and you can just copy it like you do for other libraries. If you use Zotero, I trust that you know how to do that. So yeah, do any of those things. Oh, yeah.
Does it do BibTeX imports or?
So the desktop version definitely does. I do that as my primary way of importing things. The question is, does the web interface? Yeah, okay, great question. Let me try it. So let me just go to here, grab an example of someone give me your favorite paper.
Artificial Life one. Well, it's probably just started, yeah.
With
Chris Langton's paper, there you go.
Oh, this one?
Oh, it's the overview. Yeah, whatever. That'll do.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, this one looks good. Okay, this one's a book, so it's a little more challenging. Let me grab the BibTeX. Okay. So I'm going to try a couple things. I'm going to try copying this. I'm also going to try, I think if I download it. Okay, well, I'll try copying it first. Okay, is there a nice way to get this in here? Okay, that's definitely not it. I don't think that's going to accept BibTeX. Okay, so what you might need to do if you want to do this through the web interface is you might need to copy it into a text file and do the file upload. Let me try that. Oh, doesn't like that either. Darn it. Okay, you might only be able to upload to import via BibTeX if you have the desktop version. That's annoying.
Yeah, that is annoying. Although, as long as, would there be any other format that Google Scholar provides? That?
Yeah, so Google Scholar should give you the DOI.
Yeah, as long as you have the DOI, then it's usually pretty good.
Oh no, but is this an example of an article without a DOI? It might be.
Oh, older articles often don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the problem is DOI only came in about 2000, so there's quite a bit of literature which is probably the sort that you want to reference in a
absolutely.
There has been a lot of effort to go back and give old articles DOIs, but you know, it's very hit or miss.
Okay, however, the URL it is still able to grab it from. So what I just did there was I did the magic wand and I pasted in the URL and it was able to recover all of the metadata.
And a lot of that old stuff, I mean, as you can see here, Emily and I did a big effort to get a lot of citations in here already. So hopefully, yeah, a lot of the classic stuff is all in.
Yes, thank you, Anya, for helping with that. Yeah. I want you to import something. You want to just double check the metadata and stuff that it came up with. Make sure there's nothing horribly wrong. There can occasionally be errors. Currently, some of the ALife conference proceedings in the past have the wrong year on MIT Press, and it's really confusing. Hopefully that gets fixed. But yeah, okay, that is how you get things into this library. Any more questions about that? Okay, and so then once you have things in the library, oh, sorry, was there a question?
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Cool.
Go on, because I think it was...
Okay, so yeah, once you have things in the library, what you want to do then to reference something from the library in an article is you go to this little Zotpress reference section on your right bar. And you just want to search for the article. So let's say we want to use that article we just added. So if I search for LinkedIn, this is going to come up. I can click on it. And so if I want to add this to the text, I'm going to click on in text. I'm going to click, wait, okay. Let me just double check that that is what I told myself to use in the past. Yes, in text. Okay. So there's a couple options here. So yeah, you want to use in text and you want to click generate shortcode. And so that's going to generate this little code that corresponds to a citation to this article. And then you're just going to paste that in wherever you want the citation to appear. I'm going to say Bill Langton's paper is great. And then I put that there, the citation will appear right there. And that will appear as an in-text citation. The one other thing you need to remember to do, this is only once per article, is you need to remember to add this to the bottom of each one, and that will make the full bibliography appear at the bottom of the article. And that's it. That will create your bibliography. It will create your citations. They will be linked. If you look in an existing article, you can see, for instance, if I go to Digital Evolution, like if I click on this citation, it will bring me to that citation in the reference list. So it's pretty nice. I definitely recommend making sure to put a link to the paper in Zotero so that it will show up here and people can go look at it. And yeah, I think that is everything I want to say about citations. Are there any questions about that?
Yeah, one possibly. I think when you get the ALife conference proceedings, I think you have the conference proceedings itself, which is a giant PDF, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the individual articles have their own separate PDFs.
They do this year. The
do they?
proceedings this year are split out.
Ah.
They each have their own DOI. I was just adding, ones from this year. So
All right,
yeah.
that's
Oh,
great.
awesome.
That's
Yeah,
great.
they're supposed to every year. If there's still some that don't, we have to talk to MIT Press because they were definitely supposed to split them all out appropriately. Every paper definitely has its own DOI.
Okay, so I think if I go back and look at my previous ones, well, the first thing I'll do is to check if they are available. I didn't think they were, but I'll have a look and see if they are. And then if they aren't, I can actually go and ask for them to be broken out, can I?
Well, I mean, so I'm happy to go ask because if yours aren't, that means none of them are, and they really all are supposed to be.
Oh, okay. So what if I find that, shall I drop you a mail then?
Yeah, let me know. Absolutely.
Okay, great. That's fine. Thanks, Charles.
Yeah, so Chris, I just found your one from eCal a while back, non-template molecules designed for open-ended evolution, and it's on its own, and PDF is good. So
Brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah.
That sounds like a cool paper.
it does. Yeah.
It was fun anyway.
we should have a Wikipedia article or an encyclopedia article about it.
Well, we should. I want to read it.
Well, this is kind of why I'm thinking coming here. I'm thinking maybe I can, write a little article about that. Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah. One other thing I'm realizing I didn't mention that I should have mentioned is making use of headings. So this is again about how you structure your article. So you'll notice here, there's this table of contents. The way this is generated is just automatically. So when you are working in the editor, you can add headings. So if I add a new block here, I can say I want this to be a heading block, and I can choose what level of heading I want. So generally you want the only heading 1 to be the heading for the page, and so you want everything within the article to be heading 2. So I could say this is a heading, and then I could add another heading below it that is maybe a level 3. So this is going to be a subheading within that. And if you use these to break up your article, the table of contents extension will automatically grab them and turn them into an outline so that people can jump to the different headings in the article. So if you're writing a longer article, I recommend using these to break it up so people can navigate it. Okay, I think that's everything I wanted to say about editing articles. Any high-level questions or comments about any of that?
I was just going to ask, is there a way of entering mathematical notation?
Oh, great question. Okay, is there? I feel like this is something I thought about a while ago. Question is, did I come up with a solution? Okay, so you can enter code. So yeah, this is, in case you're not familiar with WordPress, this is the blocks library. This is like all the different kinds of things that you can embed into your page. I was hoping there'd be a math one here. There is not. I swear I did think of this though. Did I add some helpful comment about it in the how to edit page? Nope, I didn't. Okay. I will add that as a feature that we need. Thanks for the question. So I think currently there's probably not a good way to do it. But I think I think it's not hard to add one.
Emily, did you mention the like different like types? Sorry that since I was late, like the books and like the kind of pages that are trying to be collections of like all the other resources?
Oh, yeah, great point. Thank you. Yeah, so Anya has spearheaded an effort to create some pages like this one, for instance. So like this is going to be, or is it attempting to be a list of like references to books that people might want to know about artificial life. And so, we've got a few different categories of them. Right now, there's not a ton, but adding to this is super encouraged. Similarly, there is a YouTube videos page for, just any YouTube videos that might be of general interest. We also totally encourage adding links to books or YouTube videos or links elsewhere on the internet to any other page. It's okay to write a stub page that's mostly just like kind of connecting people to resources elsewhere. Even that helps. And so, yeah, definitely, if you know about videos that you think people would like, books that you think people would like, totally recommend contributing to those pages as well. Is there anything else? Yeah.
There's also there's a games that I haven't actually published yet that only has one game on it, but I'm very interested in collecting games that have anything to do with artificial life as well.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Can I just follow up on an earlier point? I just on the maths, I just typed a question into Google, and it looks like there might be some sort of plugin that does it.
I'm sure there is. Yeah. I just need to add it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can do that when I go investigate the permissions as well.
Yeah, I think the only other thing maybe you mentioned is that like, because it does like the auto linking between pages, trying to be careful about using like consistent phrase, like if and like consistent, does it deal with high or uppercasing all right? I think it maybe does, but like
it does deal with uppercasing all right.
Yeah, so trying to use the phrase that is this like title of other, like the kind of main page that it is able to do that.
Yeah. So I mentioned this like I think offhandedly at the beginning, but yeah, when you're naming articles and when you are referring to concepts, try to use a consistent phrase so that the link will show up. Oh, and Barbara is pointing out that we are out of time. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So I was really hoping we'd have time to like have some kind of free writing together. But all this troubleshooting was good too. Glad we got that working for everyone. So I totally encourage you all to contribute to this encyclopedia. I'm planning on starting kind of a monthly thing where we all get together, or anyone who's interested gets together, and we have just like a writing session and we all work together. I think that might help kind of spur adding on more resources. So I totally encourage you all to come to those. I'll announce them on the Slack. I'll post at least the first one on both the conference Slack and the main ISAW Slack. Yeah, thank you all so much for coming. If anyone has questions about any of this afterward, feel free to contact me. Yeah, great to see you all.
Brilliant.